This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Wednesday, August the 10th. A couple of days remain in our Summer of Fun contest to get those Harry Styles tickets. I unveiled the keyword this morning. I think we hit like 160 keyword entries in the first minute. Holy smokes. I mean, they're great seats. Everybody wants them. Gosh, got to help people with their workday. Kick it off. 9, 2, and 5, we got the keywords. So Emily's got the next 2 this afternoon, 5 this afternoon. If you're listening this evening, not to worry. Get a chance again tomorrow at 9, 2, and 5. We'll unveil the keywords. And when you hear Harry Styles, head to the website, 955hitsfm.ca. Fill out those ballots. It's all brought to you by Bay Subaru and baysubaru.com. We're going to give somebody, and it could be you, this pair of tickets for Monday's Love on Tour stop in Toronto. We're going to hand those out on Friday. So that's great. A lot of excitement around that. It was great this morning. Jimmy Hollywood shared an Olivia Newton-John story on the air because I count on him for that kind of stuff, right? And you know he's met everybody. This was a fun encounter. Pretty well the only time he'd ever met Olivia Newton-John, and he kind of didn't, but I'll let him tell the story.
I'm going to take you back 21 years. We're going to go back to the year 2001. And the setting is Los Angeles' iconic Schubert Theater. Beautiful theater. The occasion, the LA premiere of the live version of ABBA's Mamma Mia. So I'm in row 45, which I'm cool with that. First of all, I didn't pay for the seat. It was courtesy of a lady I was seeing at the time who was doing PR for Schubert. Okay, the theater. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm getting ready to sit down. And they're starting to turn the lights off or down. And she yells, Jimmy, follow me. They need a seat filler in row 10, front and center. Yo, okay, I'm there. So I'm running to the seat. They're starting to play the overture. And I sit down, and I look to my right. Who's sitting next to me? Benny Anderson.
Oh, my gosh.
A real ABBA.
Yeah. Yeah, guy who wrote everything.
Yeah, one of the guys who wrote all these songs. But wait, the story gets even better. Sitting in front of him, a little bit to the right in front of me, Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
Now, as they went through the score, which it seems like about 50 hits. I mean, there's so many of those
Oh, my
songs.
gosh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I couldn't help but notice and hear as she mouthed the words and sang every song. So picture this. The guy next to me is tapping the beat on the armrest next to us. And the most beautiful voice in the world is singing these songs 3 feet in front of me.
And you didn't have to buy the ticket.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in row 45.
Short of seeing Olivia Newton-John in concert, wouldn't the best one to be to sit behind her at Mamma Mia and just let her sing? Hey, how was the performance? I'm not really sure. I sat behind Olivia Newton-John and just watched her sing. That would just be great. And do you know what impact her passing has had on iTunes? And I looked at iTunes because it's immediate. Of course, you know exactly what songs and albums are being downloaded right now. It is an up-to-date, as it is on the fly look. And how many Olivia Newton-John songs are in the top 10? How many albums are in the top 10? She does have the number 1 song, and I'm not sure you could guess which one it is. I'm going to have that for you tomorrow morning. So join me for that tomorrow morning. Today, we talked a lot about friends, and according to a new survey that came out, the average person has 10 of them. We've got 10 friends. Not Facebook friends, because that's acquaintances and people who like your updates and stuff that you forward. I'm talking about need a shoulder, somebody to talk to, friend. We've got 10 of them, including one we've known since we were 6 years old. And 6 seemed to be the age in the survey when we realized I have a best friend or I'm somebody's best friend. And that was back when you could run to the park and you'd see somebody on a swing and run up to them and say, hi, my name is Mark. Will you be my friend? And they'd say, yes. And that's how you made friends. So over the lifetime of these friends, you've shared 630 secrets. Paul also found that the average friendship will last about 17 years. They don't always end badly. Sometimes they just kind of, drift away. Life gets in the way. You get married, you have kids, you fall out of touch, you move away. 17% say, though, that they have had a best friend for over 30 years. What a blessing. Best friend for over 30 years. So what would make somebody a good friend to you? They've listed a ton of factors. Some of them, of course, are, bang on the money, and a few of them are like, okay, if they would pet sit for you, they're a friend. All right, well, yeah, pet sit for you. Help them move to a new house? Oh my gosh, yeah. Because I think every time somebody's asked me for help moving, I'm busy that day, which explains why I don't have a lot of good friends, I guess. They would provide honest advice on an outfit. All right, so they'll give it to you straight up how you're doing. They're always there in a pinch to help with any situation, no matter how big or how small, sure. They don't judge your mistakes, okay. But here are the top 5. So we talked about secrets. They would keep your secret. This is a number 5 factor. Always telling the truth, number 4. You make each other laugh, number 3. That's a great friend. They listen to your problems, number 2. And the number 1 thing which ties into that, what makes somebody a good friend? They're a good listener. That's the person that you can count on in a pinch. So friendships, you got 10. If you've got a really great one that you haven't talked to in a while, contact them, because don't grow on trees. Friends, it's great stuff. Then we got talking about baby names, because Bella Baby, who are the baby name experts, I don't remember anointing them as such, but they claim they are, have spoken, and they're out with the list of not 2022's most popular baby names, but most unpopular baby names. Not the ones that are being completely ignored, but the ones that used to be popular and are really dropping a lot. And I expected that the number 1 girl's name would be Karen, because of all that's going on with that name associated in the pandemic, right? Women who freak out in public are called Karens. And I thought, oh yeah. But the name is Angela. Angela has been declining for the past 20 years and continues to. And for boys, this one hurt. Kobe. The passing of Kobe Bryant. So as a result, Kobe is disappearing rapidly from birth certificates. Kobe, not popular. Other girls' names which are becoming less popular: Kimberly, Alexa, what else is included? Ashley, which was everywhere in the 80s, thanks to soap operas. Lorraine, Kristen, and Susanna are all dropping out. Other boys' names that are declining include Jeffrey, Nigel, Stuart, Chad, Gary, and Bill. Now, they did point out that we do have some popular names, but the part of the survey that was interesting is they attributed it to Netflix's smash hit, Stranger Things. I talked about Ashley getting popular because of soap operas. Stranger Things. No. Girls' names, 11? No. Not naming girls 11. But Robin, Maxine, Elle, Mike, Billy, and Steve have all risen dramatically in the past 2 years for popularity. A few other boys' names they tossed in because of the Royals. Freddie, Archie, and Isaac are also becoming far more popular than they used to be. So, kindergarten class of 2027. A lot of L's, Mikes, Billies, not so many Jeffreys, Nigels, Kristens, or Angelas. So if you're expecting a child there, that just complicates it just a little bit more and confuses you. Coming up on tomorrow's show, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at the Olivia Newton-John statistics, but also it is a Throwback Thursday for Burger Revolution with a rising burger. It's their bestseller. It's a fan favorite. You're going to love it. Get it in your mouth and get it all over your face. It's so good. Try it today. BurgerRevolution.ca. I've gone back to 1986 and the album Invisible Touch by Genesis. It's a remarkable story to me because I love music. In 1986, Phil Collins was as big a music performer as there was as a solo artist. Yes, he's battling Michael Jackson after Thriller. Madonna's huge. Whitney Houston is new on the scene. Bruce Springsteen had just released Born in the USA. There's probably a couple of others I'm not thinking of right now, but Phil Collins and all of those were as big as anything. Mike Rutherford of Genesis had just launched Mike and the Mechanics, and they were enjoying their singles, Silent Running and All I Need Is a Miracle, Taken In. Oh, God, I love that song. So he was really popular. Tony Banks, the other third of Genesis, was working behind the scenes in some projects in the studio with other bands. So they were super busy, and they had sort of, we thought, grown beyond Genesis, grown too big to be Genesis again. Nay. They got together, put together the album Invisible Touch, which went on to become an enormous album. But all three of them agreed, we're not going to bring any projects that we're working on now or any thoughts of songs. We're going to start fresh right now. Everything has to be brand new, and all three of us are going to write all the songs. And that's what they did. They set their egos aside, and they wrote that album. That's, to me, it's like, well, nobody does that anymore. I mean, once you go solo and you get popular, don't need you guys anymore. But Genesis didn't want to do that. And so the title track, Invisible Touch, which was one of the last songs written for the album, was the first single, enormous hit. Song In Too Deep was really big hit. But for Throwback Thursday tomorrow, the two songs I've chosen for Team Charity is the song Mike Rutherford said he really enjoyed writing because he'd never written a protest song before. And he always wanted to do that. And that was Land of Confusion. So if you want to hear Land of Confusion tomorrow, vote Team Charity on Facebook. And Team Mark is a typical and yet so great. One of our listeners said Phil Collins at his best in the song Throwing It All Away. Great breakup song or regret over the breakup, however you would characterize it. It's Phil at his best in 1986. So winning song is going to come after the 8 o'clock news tomorrow morning. Do you want to hear Throwing It All Away? Then vote for Team Mark on Facebook. If you want to hear Land of Confusion, vote for Team Charity on Facebook. Winning song is coming up tomorrow morning after the 8 o'clock news for Burger Revolution. That's the way Wednesday is looking this August the 10th. We'll get back at it again tomorrow morning. Once again, Jimmy Hollywood is going to have a look at new movies on the box office and plenty more on 95.5 Hits FM. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast, be it Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Be sure and subscribe. We have it up by 11 o'clock each weekday morning. Enjoy your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow on 95.5 Hits FM.